Hey, whack people. This is the OCT, Octavius Hay, and I want to thank you for tuning in to our page today. We greatly appreciate it. If you are listening to the podcast, you can also find it on PODBEAN. The link will be in the description. And if you listen to our music, you can also listen on SoundCloud and DatPiff. Both links will be in the description also. And as always, please remember to like the video, leave a comment, and to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification button so you're informed every time we drop new content. Now enjoy this whack wisdom. I am whacking off. Yeah. Talk whack to me.
Kind of cringe-worthy.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like it was something she said that in there when I don't remember if he asked. I think he did ask it, which was like, do you take your dude shopping, and do stuff for you? She was like, why do boyfriends want to act like girlfriends? I'm like, how is that acting like a girlfriend? Because your girl is doing stuff for you. As long as you're doing stuff for her too, And I kind of had an issue with Saweetie with a lot of her thought processes, and that's why that line from Quavo really stuck out to me when he was saying, "You know who I thought you was." Because remember, I think it was like last year sometimes, everybody got mad at her when she said, if he ain't getting you like a Birkin bag or something, you need to send him back to the streets. And I'm like, so is everything about what material things a man can get for you, and is there anything more than that? Because everything you say when it comes to relationship makes it seem like it's all about catering to you and servicing your needs, and it has to be material things. And if a guy wants to be treated well and be loved on, then he's acting like a girl. That's what it came across to me. Maybe she didn't mean it that way, but every time she says something, it's always sounding like that.
And just where she's at, like 6-figure rich niggas my type and shit like that. Like, so they can't even be up there. We're just gonna like knock niggas down for the other things that they can possibly bring to a stable relationship and things like that. You know what I mean? If they don't have that, they don't got the 6 figures and stuff, you're gonna take away from the guy that is going to cater to some of them other things.
Yeah, it's a nice story that Ryan Coogler, who's a director, he directed the Creed movies and the Black Panther movie, and he was talking about his wife back when he was either in college or like right after he graduated college. He was writing scripts, and I guess what he was using to write scripts wasn't good, and it was his wife, who's his girlfriend at that time. He didn't have any money to like purchase like a better typewriter, purchase something better to make it easier for him to write the script. So she scrapped some change together and bought it for him. And they were broke. And now he's a successful filmmaker making millions of dollars, and he got her right there by his side. So that mindset of he got to be able to buy this for me now. Sometimes y'all got to grow together, and if y'all grow together, you'll get it later. But don't just dismiss the dude because he don't got it right now. You gotta look at that ambition. What is he doing? What are his goals? What is he doing to get those goals accomplished? I understand Saweetie saying that because she's like successful now. So I understand her saying like, I wanted somebody who's on my level, not less, because I want somebody who do stuff I want to do. But when you saying that and you telling that to other women who may not be financially where you at, then you're making them not want to talk to a dude who in the future would be able to get those things. But just because he can't get it in this moment, you're making him think that he's a loser. But he's a hustler, he's working hard, and he got ambition to be something better, and that should be awarded as well.
It's kind of a tough thing, and I can't even go too hard as Saweetie. She came out the hood too and got on and like I'm the icy one, I'm flashy, I'm this flamboyance, whatever, I got that. So I can't even be mad at that either. That's her type, you know what I'm saying? She said she put it out there like that. So like, and maybe her holding on to being true to herself in this sense, That's
right.
What that is. So.
Right, I just didn't like, and again, I don't mind her. She can like whoever she wants to like, but when you try to make it like a guy who can't afford those things in that moment is a bad guy, that's what I don't like. Like that, your personal preference is your personal preference, but don't try to make it sound like every guy who doesn't have that money now is not the guy you should be with. I just don't like that.
I really think also it's like
materialistic.
These materials can't really make or break the relationship, but it's gonna be some character things that come out, and you saw some stuff that you didn't like that had nothing to do with how much he could give you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
Talk whack to me.
Hell, why you asking us to give money? Why don't you pay for it? That ain't nothing to you.
Yeah.
What you think?
It's just using the platform. Y'all didn't have to donate. They didn't have to. She's just around people who have money. Well, I just have this laying around. I'll give it to them. And enough of people who agreed to do it, it added all up. It seems bad, but I can't even be mad. You can, whoever's arguing right now, who's ever mad, make your GoFundMe for your person. You can do the exact same thing.
That's not the point. The point isn't about making a GoFundMe. The point is, when you are worth $700 million and you are essentially asking people to spend money or give money to somebody for what is chump change to you, and that's somebody that you had a relationship with, that looks really bad. And it kind of makes you seem like you don't care. And in these hard times, when your family is known for flaunting their money and just throwing it at, we're gonna go to this island this season. We're gonna go to this island. We're gonna buy this. We're gonna rent this island. We're gonna buy this plane. We're gonna buy all these fancy clothes. We're gonna buy our little kids expensive $1,000 stuff. When you're known for just throwing money around. And when somebody who's a friend, which I know she said that they hadn't really been in communication like that, but still, when it's somebody who you know, who you have history with, and they need help for their life, and you're the person that throws your money everywhere in which way, and this is the time you say, hey man, y'all pay for it. Even though I gave you $5,000, I'm worth $700 million, so that's like what, $3.42? If you make $50,000 a year, that's the equivalent of if you donating $3.45 or something like that, 42 cents.
It's just like, I just can't be mad at it. It sucks, but like, she didn't make them donate. They could have been like, I don't want to give or whatever.
I don't think she should have put it up, is what I'm saying. I just think that when you are, that's like if you my nigga and I'm worth $900 million and you get into a fatal accident and you need surgery and it's outside of the insurance, you got extra dollars you got to pay, say you need an extra $50,000 and I give you $5,000.
Okay, well,
post it like, oh my nigga eat help.
I really want to ask this. Why do you think she didn't just give the money then? Can I ask that question?
Well, according to her, I'm gonna say according to her first. So according to her, it was originally $10,000, and she saw that they had raised $6,000, so she gave $5,000 to take it over to gold. But as I don't know if that's true or not, but as a lot of people know, had to deal with medical issues. That initial price can change depending on a lot of things. They were wrong about something, so you have to pay for the doctor's mistake, and now there's extra money. And with all these doctors looking into your issue, you get a doctor that's out of network. Now, and the out of network means that your insurance does not cover for what that doctor does. They won't tell you that doctor's out of network. That doctor's just going to come in, and now you're going to be billed personally, separately, for whatever that doctor had to do for you. That's a real thing that happens. So like, you know, when you have your insurance, you can only go to a certain doctor. That's the doctor that's in your network. Now, if it's something serious where you're in a hospital, they'll just bring doctors in. If a doctor's not in your network, now your insurance is not going to cover for whatever that doctor did. So any service they provided, any type of equipment they use, any medicine, that's all being charged to you personally. So that's to say, whatever happens, it went up from that $10,000 to $60,000. And she said she was done when she just posted it, and according to her, she didn't know. Now, what I really think happened is she just didn't want to do it. I think that's really what it is. She just didn't want to do it. Now, that's within her right. And I'm not mad that she didn't want to do it. Just don't post that, because then you look kind of away, especially when we know how your family do with their money. Y'all splurge. We've been seeing you for all these years splurge money, throw it around.
I don't want to get my money, but hey, maybe she felt bad.
Yeah,
I'll just throw the link on my however many million followers I have and see what happens. And then this happened.
Yeah. Talk whack to me.
Week, Joe Budden's podcast, his co-host Rory and Mal, new Rory and Mal. Ooh. They have left. They are not on there, and a lot of people are talking about infighting and stuff. What say you, E?
Man, what about your friends? What happened? I thought y'all was friends, man, and then it just. More recording, more podcasts, more money in the situation, and like, man, y'all kind of talking kind of grimy on thing. You could see some animosity, some hostilities popping up in some of these casts.
Definitely, man. And you know, I've been a Joe Budden Podcast for a few years, a Joe Budden Podcast fan for a few years now. And so I remember back in 2018, I thought it was 2019, but that's just because COVID messed up my timeline for a minute. But it was actually back in 2018, I remember thinking like, dang, Rory, like, why don't you stand up to Joe? Like, Joe always, like, put you down, he joke about you. I kind of feel like Rory was always picked on the most. And then I remember once it got the new year, 2019, Rory started getting a little bit more aggressive and start challenging Joe more and arguing his points and not and arguing longer than what he used to do. He always would somewhat argue a point, but now he was really coming at him and like talking a little tough with him. And I was like, okay, Rory kind of getting tired of Joe Budden stuff. So it just brings it all the way to now when you told me that he had one on the podcast and they was kind of having a little situation with each other. Yep. And I had heard and I had already watched the video where they was talking about that when they was talking about the royal family stuff. So I'm like, to me it's kind of like it was bound to happen because as a fan I've been seeing that Joe gets on Rory's nerves sometimes because he keep playing and Rory don't want to play no more. And he's got like, can you just hear what I'm saying instead of joking about it every time I say something?
This has been built up. This has been accumulating all the way.
Because I be getting mad. I be like, man, let the man say what he got to say. Stop playing with him. He trying to talk.
And it's just kind of tough because it's the Joe Budden Podcast. It's not,
Yeah, that's true. It is the Joe Budden Podcast, man. And that's one thing that your favorite guy, Academics, was talking about. Did you watch the video?
I did.
You watched the whole thing?
Yep.
He was getting him.
He seems mad, but maybe I feel like he might just want a job too. Come on, man.
He was saying he was offering them a job. He said, I'll pay you what Joe pay you to do my yard work.
Come on.
He said he a multi-millionaire, he's a boss, Joe's a boss, and they workers, and they've been portraying to be bosses when really they following Joe's lead.
Taking shots, but hey, I'm actually not too mad at this. He was on Complex and he can hold his own, and hey.
And then his own stuff, his DJ Academic stuff. He got people working for him finding these stories and stuff.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, man, man's a business. And plus, him and Rory kind of got beef because Rory came to his house and left him a card saying some slick stuff.
They got a history, just some other stuff.
So now he calls him Rory. Said it out that he cheated on his girl, that Rory cheated on his girl. And there's been a lot of back and forth between them. So I already knew when I saw on YouTube that Act was saying something, he's about to go in. That's one of my favorite pastimes is watching him talk stuff about Rory. But anyway, though, a lot of people some people are saying that this had to do with money. Joe saying it wasn't about money, it was about like personal stuff between them. What do you think?
Well, definitely some of the stuff they were saying was some red flags. Like they was, they do the live thing. We on live, but then the way they say it, I ran it back and you said X, Y, Z. What if we not that like that? I was like, dang. So
I didn't think that was that big a deal though. It seemed like he was joking to me. Everybody
and that could have just been the humor, but it just, I guess, it landed wrong, or were we actually mad, or what's up? They don't show up now, or the pay. I don't know. I feel like it is a money thing a little bit, cause like what are they? It can't be getting paid more than Joe.
Definitely not. I think. Well, then again, this is Academics saying this, so take it with a grain of salt. He said that Rory and Mal make $50,000 combined. So pretty much $25,000 each a year is what he was saying, which I don't believe that at all. But I don't know, because they had the Spotify deal. Joe nixed that, and then they had like a blank check deal. Another company was like giving Joe a blank check. Pretty much, you decide to figure, and Joe turned that down. I guess maybe they wanted a little bit more control or something. And he's doing the thing with Patreon and starting his own network.
Lots of new things.
So maybe money went down after the Spotify thing is what I'm saying. So maybe it is that they hurting for money, and maybe that's led to personal things too. Like, so maybe Joe is right, and maybe other people are right.
I feel like it just might be done with this course. It might have done this course, man. It might be done. And if it's time for a shake-up or something new, they got to change something up or something like that. But I don't know. If this has been built up from time going, we've been like this, something probably needed to happen. I feel like whatever comes next is going to be some good content,
Yeah. Talk whack to me.
The demon himself, Lil Damien, Lil Nas X, who has decided that he wants to dry hump Satan and sell devil shoes with human blood in them. No, it is human blood. That's not alleged. That's human blood in them.
Okay.
What do you think about that, brother?
Man. Well, he is the center of I will say entertainment right now. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to meshing art and the music and expressing myself, and of course you throw the religion mix in there, it's gonna ruffle some feathers, and he has done that.
Yeah, no, he definitely has. And as far as marketing go, this was an A+, man, because he's been a talk in the industry with this stuff. Like, he's one of the hot topics right now from the video to the shoes to like having 666 pairs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this was thought out, man. So, you know, when I did you watch the video?
I watched it once, yeah.
So when I saw it, I only watched it once too. I ain't gonna front, man. I was a little disturbed, a little bit.
Yeah.
It was
I wasn't gonna do it at first, but then I said 17 million in one day.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
definitely, man. I did it for the show. I guess I gotta watch it if I'm gonna talk about it. So I watched it. You know, him stripper poling down from heaven to hell and twerking on the devil and licking the devil and then snapping his neck and him becoming the devil. It was a little out there for me. But we both watched the video. What did you think?
Well, I think this is well, first off, it didn't hit me as hard as some other people because I feel like people were attached with the kid thing because it was like the Old Town Road is such a pop friendly kind of record, and then it gets way more edgy. It's not the per se what you would want to just be, you know, showing that you want this to be a mature audience only kind of thing for, you know, for an artist.
Right, I feel you on that. What you think of the shoes?
That's just marketing. I mean,
Would you rock some if somebody got a pair for you? Here go them devil shoes, nigga. Human blood, nigga. Sacrifice. We gonna put them on?
I mean, nah. Nah, probably not.
I sell. Somebody gave me a pair of them mugs.
I know there's some sneakerheads who would want. I probably let them hit the market one more time.
I'll wait a little bit, watch how them numbers cause you know a lot of them people gonna sell them.
Yeah.
A lot of people gonna get them just to sell them for high up. So I'm gonna look and see what the numbers is looking like. If it look like it's starting to dip down a little bit, all right, let me go ahead and sell these real fast.
You want to cover up the sole of your feet with that, man?
I don't, but somebody do. I'm sure you got some people that's gonna buy it and wear them and show them off. I got my devil shoes, human blood, nigga.
Yeah.
Sacrifice.
Talk whack to me.
My
Bhad
God.
Bhabie, yeah, right. Bobby, but Bhad Bhabie.
Gucci flip flops.
So she went ahead and she got a Onlyfans now. She made $1 million in 6 hours. So her niggas just gross. They just wait for her to turn 18.
Standing in line waiting for that.
You know what I'm saying, though, E, what you think about that, man? You think it's kind of pervy a little bit? I don't know, some kind of dirty about it.
I do get that, but she's being pretty provocative. We all been asking that since this forever. Oh, how old is she? Even when she first did the Catch Me Outside stuff, like how old is she? Well, she's finally legal, so like I'm not even surprised about this. She's been in the spotlight, you know.
Niggas was ready though. That's the crazy thing about it.
I wanted to just do a quick breakdown of how she did it, and a lot of the money was directly from subscriptions. You're looking at over $75,000 in subscriptions alone, tips $5,000, messages, Jesus. Oh, wait a minute, no, the messages is where she really made it, man. Oh no, $757,000 in subscriptions. My mistake. $757,000 in subscriptions. Over 267,000 in messages alone. So like, were these guys literally just like waiting with their wallets in their hand to see this young girl?
I don't know.
And it happened
for
me. The fact that it happened in such a short amount of time.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I'm saying? What was it, like a couple hours?
Yeah, 6 hours she made $1 million.
All right, and I do just have to add this part in. She already was sitting at 17 million subscribers on Instagram and stuff, so she's already got some social followers, you know.
Yeah, E, but you don't think it's wrong for people to be like waiting on the minor to turn legal? You think it's something creepy about that?
Nah.
Molestery-ish.
It's definitely weird, but
Molester-ish.
well, that, you know, the problem that I think he is having is the idea of crime versus morality. You know, everything the government says is a crime isn't necessarily immoral. Now, mind you, lusting or trying to be involved with a young woman, period, is immoral. So, but that's our balance.
And
you know,
I'm about to say, we could just go to another country and it's just happening. You can go pay for the younger whatever, and that's that's just the reality of it, moral or right. You could go and go do that. This is what's happening. And she's not even per se doing porn or anything. Because OnlyFans isn't necessarily porn.
That's true.
One thing to remind people too, a lot of people really truly don't know that the age of consent is not. The age of consent is a state, mandated thing. Not every state considers a woman to be an adult at 18. Some states are 16, so
17 now.
17, yeah. So the age of consent everywhere is
What
different.
do you mean teenage?
Stop pushing that false narrative. 18, 19, those are legal age. He was asking if he meant under, because you can't say, do you talk to teenagers? He say, no, I talk to teenagers, and they were like, she was with this 19-year-old.
Not when you say teenagers.
Right, what do you mean? Are you talking about legal? He said that. He said, you talking about legal? Because yes, I'm only messing with legal. 18, 19, he said that. But everybody always just stick to that first part.
What I believe, me being 29, man, and I would say most of us agree, I believe date your age and date your wage. So I typically would like a woman my age or a little older.
I want a sugar mama, so I don't know about that wage part.
Well, if that's what you're searching, then that's what you're searching for.
Do you think that she's gonna move more into sex work as she's gotten older? I know she has fans, but her music ain't popping like that. And this seemed to really did something big for her. You think that you could possibly see her? Because even when she was underage, she was always sexualizing herself, even as a minor. The way she would dress and talk and act, she was always, giving a wink, sexualizing herself. So now it's legal. Do you think that she'll think that's probably more of a career for her than the music, which is just kind of been doing okay for her?
We'll say why not at this point. You're gonna do it. I said that another time. You're gonna go all the way in, and I feel like she probably could get office. And as a company that does that kind of stuff, why wouldn't you look into that?
I think her career's been based more on persona than just music or anything. She's been based in putting her hand in any pocket she can find. Persona is her driving factor. So long as she can look like Bhad Bhabie or Bunny or whatever the hell her name is. There's too many Bhads in this world now. So long as she can look like that girl and sound like that girl, I think she'll be able to make money off of her image forever.
Yeah. Talk whack to me.
Is the vision of hip hop himself, Lil Uzi Vert.
Another Lil.
Gracious.
Another Lil. So I don't know why this happened, what started this, but Lil Uzi Vert and Young Miami is beefing, and he's dating JT, who's in the group with Young Miami. So it's kind of like, and then Young Miami's dude is tripping. So it's kind of become a whole big thing, and it's kind of, but not really imploding the City Girls. So what y'all think about that? E, start with you.
Well, Southside seems to be like, first of all, don't talk to my girl like that. You kind of crazy doing it over the gram. I kind of could see that. And also, he really made him seem like, bruh, these niggas was gonna get you if I wasn't there. And like, don't forget that. So I feel like he's trying to remind them some shit too, possibly, man. Yeah, stay in your lane, know where you're at, type deal on some street shit. I don't know how I got there, but clearly some niggas was, hey, I stopped it from going down on your little ass, type shit.
What you think about the situation, Mikhail?
Well, I named this topic One Night in Miami with an Uzi. And I thought that was really clever. I named this topic One Night in Miami with an Uzi because everyone's spouting off. And honestly, it's all just a bit of it's a display of personal emotions whilst trying to chase clout, which is the worst thing you should do. They're all putting their personal emotions on display, saying, I'm the coolest person, I'm the most important person, I'm the one everybody should listen to. But they're all looking quite childish. Even the Southside guy, I give him respect for stepping up for his woman, but hey man, if you're gonna step up and to defend your woman, maybe the first thing you should do is not call her a bitch like while defending her in the video.
That's how the niggas be talking sometimes. I'm talking my bitch.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if she likes it, then hey, can't complain. But yeah, I think it's all just a lot of personal emotion on display. The Southside gentleman, I see he's doing his thing. He's doing what he should do. But then I also feel like he was saying a bit too much in terms of trying to chase clout. When you're exposing personal stories about the industry, people that think that people don't know about, it it doesn't make much. It doesn't help much.
What it does is it makes it harder for y'all to make up and be cool.
Exactly.
Because now you're trying to embarrass me.
Yeah, exposing personal things that only we should know.
Right. No, what I liked about this whole thing was Uzi was talking some slick stuff, man. when he was FaceTime, and I'm not talking about he was talking slick stuff to Young Miami. He was talking slick stuff to JT. Yeah. Like, why you run your mouth like you don't run nothing? You know, if I told you to come over here and tongue kiss me, you'll do it.
Whoa.
You ain't. I'm like, hey, now because like the narrative has been like she just uses niggas for his money and she making him buy all this stuff, and he been feeding into it too. He like the stuff he say. So I was like, kind of caught up, like, oh nah, this nigga just really be putting this little ghetto girl in her place. She be lying. She don't believe her music. She talking about how she run these niggas, scam these niggas.
He's a rich nigga. You know what I mean? And right now,
he putting her little scamming ass in up. Nah, I love JT. That she's so damn.
Right
sexy.
now, like Lil Uzi is like the rich nigga. You know what I mean? Like he's the hottest. He's like the little Ric Flair of hip hop, man. He's doing his thing.
I mean, we say that, but how hot is Uzi? Is he? I mean, I don't never hear nothing about him. I don't see nothing about him other than he got the stone in his forehead.
Compared to the other Philly nigga we like talking about me.
He got an infinity stone in his forehead, and he dating JT. That's like the only thing anybody talks about him. How hot is this nigga?
It's like the same thing I said with Bhad Bhabie, man. It's all personality now. It's all personality, how much people like you. If you got a metric and a number, people will pay you for anything.
And it did feel cloud shady-ish, so I feel like they're learning how to work this fucking shit when they get attention. You know? They're watching me, or they're watching my girlfriend. Hold on, let me check her. Let me hit her a few times with some shit, you know?
Talk whack to me.
So what's some of your favorite X memories?
Alright, so
not even necessarily music or nothing, just maybe some crazy interviews and stuff you did.
Yeah. Well, first off, Who We Be, you know, I just listened to that song a lot, you know, and at the end, and even after it kinda hit me, it's like I am D at the kids say I am DMX. It's like, you know, just his rawness that he just puts on. He didn't really look to be flashy or not, that, you know?
Real talk, man. Yeah, you're right. He didn't look to be flashy. He was just honest.
But he was still a star. He still did the movies. He still did the Hollywood thing. But, you know,
he's a megastar.
Kept his integrity is what is just beautiful about that whole thing. He never changed who he was, really.
You remember or did you ever read the article or hear about it when he first found out about Barack Obama when Obama was running, and he didn't believe that was his name? He was like, Barack Obama? Come on, man, that ain't that man's name. You better stop lying. I'm telling you, why are you lying? That ain't his name. Barack Obama? That is not that. They wouldn't name their kid that. A legendary, just a funny moment from
He
X.
has a lot of this videos in the vault that are just coming up. Like, I took a picture when I was here, and that just shows you how like connected down to earth he really was, man.
Singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Come on!
You know what? Yeah.
It's really silly, dude. I remember him and his ex-wife went on couples therapy, and he was talking on the phone. He was with her. She was in the room, and he was like talking to, I guess, his side chick, and he was trying not to say the wrong things, but he was waiting on his ex to leave so he could start. He just went off with it, like, I mean, you just gonna stay here while I'm talking to this girl? You're not gonna leave? I'm trying to be respectful, but you just gonna stay here while I'm talking like that? Like, X, you wild. How you gonna be mad at that woman because you trying to cheat her, sneak behind her back on some stuff? Man, even on that same season, he said he was gonna have sex until his thing fall off. So just let you know, X was a wild dude, man. But we also had, you know, he was always praying, famous for praying. He had the reality show that he would like pray.
Yeah.
All the time. He would do those quiet moments. He like drive somewhere, isolated, and just close his eyes and start like pray rapping to God. You don't remember that?
Yeah, no, this was on his albums, and just
yeah.
You'll see him do that. You know, again, more of them videos just coming out. Those pretty are touching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Of course, the historic battle between him and Jay-Z. They got one of them recorded. But yeah, that. Just his, you know, his relationships with Jay and Ja Rule over the years. He's touched a lot of people.
He brought it, and he, you know, I guess he was dealing with just some of that chaos, raw, just energy that street people feel. Where the hood at? Like, just address that and.
Yeah.
Anybody in the street could feel his energy, man. If he was that kind of guy.
Yeah. Talk whack to me.
I would say I lean towards believing her that she did not mean to kill him. Now, only because I've seen the video. And in the video, she does say taser. And when she shoots him, you can tell it's like, oh, shoot. And she's like, I just shot him. And just from the way she sounded, I do believe that she did think that was her taser. Now, people say taser gun and a regular gun should feel different. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I don't know. In a high-tense situation, I don't know. But you said, I'm open to her, I'm open to like change my mind and say, nah, she was lying. But just based off of her reaction, either she's a really good actress and within like a moment's time, she's really good at just playing that character, or she did think that it was her taser gun. She did think she was tasing him instead of shooting him.
That's a tough one. I can't even say her perspective, and especially we talking game time decision. It's a moment in the moment decision.
Do you think she could? If it's like if everybody believes, let's just operate on the fact right now. Let's just operate that it was accident. You think she should be charged?
It still happened because that's kind of where my mind is.
Okay.
This happens a lot, and it just happened again. There should be a crime after that.
So she should get. So
they ruled it homicide, right?
This is murder by homicide. Yep.
Trial by that. That's what they should get punished for. Whatever it is, accident, it happened.
Well, she's been charged with second-degree manslaughter, I think is what they said, which is a fitting crime. If accidental murder, that is the charge you give them.
I hear
manslaughter.
You. So you just gotta hold that. Whatever that comes with that, if you can get out, hold on some whatever limit. Hey, you gotta hold at least that.
You think that she? First of all, you think that she's guilty? She should be found guilty of manslaughter.
She should. It happened. All right. Whatever, it happened.
Right. You think she will be found guilty?
See, this is when that comes in after the liar talk, all the court system comes in with the language, and we need some more space and time. We're going to extend the trial date over and over, longer and longer, till something else happens possibly, and then it gets light.
Okay, I don't know if I had my mic on when I asked that. So he was answering. I asked, do you think that she is guilty? And do you think that she will be found guilty? So that's what he was answering there. Just in case just in case the mic slipped off for the audience.
Yeah. So sometimes we get to these cases, it goes into the court, and then it lingers. I feel like we don't really know. We need more time. We need more space to process it. More evidence. Things come in, and by the time it gets to the end, another thing has popped up a lot of times.
Right. Well, that's the problem, and then justice moves slow. Like courts move slow. It takes a long time for anything to happen in court. And you're right. Just like we're seeing right now, we're not even done with Derek Chauvin, and then.
Well, which is why I'm okay with just give her this one and just let it go. Whatever the one is, whatever the thing is, for manslaughter. Let her have that. Let her hold that.
Yeah.
And just keep it going, because something else could happen. I feel like we should have the systems available for the next case to come up, because it's coming, man.
And that's a problem, because it's coming, and you have, when George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and all these other people passed away last year, you had all these politicians, all these Democrat politicians, all sad, and this is not right, this is wrong, and you had some with their little stupid Wakanda flags taking a knee, and something needs to be done, as if y'all not the people that make something get done. And that's what we hear now. Some people saying again, something needs to be done. Well, do something then. Yeah, we have no legislation at all right now that's being seriously debated upon to vote on to make any changes to anything with the cops, whether state or federal. It's ridiculous, man. And you got Joe Budden talking about when he has a chance to, condemn the cops. Instead of doing that, he goes on talking about the riots. Well, if something keeps happening and nobody's making any changes, you think people just gonna keep being peaceful? People getting tired of being shot. Black people getting shot, and most of the police officers, they get away with it. Then they either go back to their job where they was at, or they go to another precinct. It's just you can't get mad at people reacting to something when there's no change being made.
Yeah. Talk whack to me.
This case isn't really over. This has been so looked into. There's going to be other aspects to just find out the jury was this, and just the analysis on this, the lens on this case was just heavy, you know. And even before the verdict dropped, like we had like a newscast coming in way before. Hey, they're getting ready to drop it. We're getting ready to reveal it. We're gonna reveal it. So that was the press for this was heavy.
Now, I know I say I don't like to be too political since after the election time, but just looking at the format for a lot of stuff that we were talking about on here, or that we're going to be talking about on today's show, I realized I couldn't be honest about the conversation without bringing politics into it. So, a lot of politicians on both sides, Democrats and Republicans, they let out a sigh of relief. Not because, and probably somewhat too because it was the right thing to do, but also because they felt that since he was found guilty, it took a lot of pressure off of them. They didn't have to try to come up with a bill to make any change, to make this less likely to happen. And so what I'm saying is, and I will hope more people in higher positions than me start saying, celebrities and other people, is we need to know that this is just a start. And it's time to start putting pressure. If you believe that there should be some type of reform, police reform, you got to start putting pressure on the people who make those bills, who put that into law. And until we do that, they're not going to do anything because there's no reason to rock the boat if they don't have to. And they're also good with the police unions. Everybody wants to be on the right side with the police unions. So we got to start letting them know that if you don't do what we say, we will take your power away from you. And by doing that, or the way that we do that is we don't go and vote for them. We vote for somebody else. We say, well, you won't do it. Who's willing to do it? Someone say, I'll do it. Then okay, we'll put you in and we'll take you out. So if you want to stay, you do what we want. What do you think about that?
Well, heavy, political. Hey.
But do you think that that leaders should do something? You think there should be some type of police reform, defund the police, or any type of something like that needs to make a change?
I do with the change. However, we need to bring about that, and also just about one of my quotes is, "Who polices the police?" And it should be the people. I feel like so. I guess this is the spark. Maybe this is maybe the jump start, and it's the time to start to be that.
No, definitely. I just hope that people don't take this as now I can just sit down and relax and just wait for the next one. We need to start trying to make these happen less and less. So let's get outraged before it happens so we don't have to lose a life.
Don't have them be comfortable in just doing that, letting that stuff happen. Like, oh, I just shot somebody. It's okay. I'll get off.
Yeah. Talk whack to me.
Let's just talk about some of the things they said. Okay, so I'm actually going to start with Rory since he did start the convo. So Rory, he was talked about pretty much what happened with him was whatever the issue was, he got a text from Joe telling him to take a couple shows off, and he thought that was weird. Now when Mal found out about this, Mal went and confronted Joe about which is pretty much what we had been told before. I think Ack was saying this, which is pretty much the way Ack told the story. Or no, Joe said that. So he goes to confront him about it, and then from their conversation, he didn't like what Joe had to say, so he bounced. So we got that part of it. Now, Mal really goes into a little bit more of how he felt during their hiatus because Joe Budden kept going on with the podcast and those other two dudes. And Mal was like, he didn't like that Joe kept the podcast going. He felt he should have stopped it. Joe's point of view was, well, this is a business and we can't just stop the business because you're upset. We can't afford to stop this business. We're content creators. If we take long breaks, we could lose our audience.
Yeah, Joe realizes I feel like where he's at with this. This is a big Spotify thing that it's like we're getting even more.
Well, he's not with Spotify no more. They left from Spotify. I think that was kind of the start of their thing because Joe pretty much made that decision without them. But it's Joe Budden Podcast. He's the owner. He puts 100% of the risk into it. So he makes those decisions. But I guess they were all under the idea of like it was a partnership thing, but they didn't have that in writing.
So some shit had to get addressed.
Exactly.
Some shit hit the fan.
Yeah. So pretty much he turned away from a lot of money. Now I don't know how much he's making now. But you know, it's started from there. So yeah, as far as with Mal talking about that and Joe saying what he had to say, as far as Mal saying he didn't like him to continue the show, and Joe saying this is business, how'd you feel about that?
Yeah.
Whose side were you on?
Like, it is Joe's podcast, so like, if anybody doesn't have to go, it's me. That's the only person who is like, I feel like you can't irreplaceable at this point. How you gonna have a Joe Budden podcast without Joe Budden?
Yeah,
That's gonna be kind of tough.
it could be the Joe Budden podcast. He's just not on it. Just be two random niggas.
That ain't gonna hit. That ain't gonna hit.
Welcome to the Joe Budden podcast featuring not Joe Budden but some other niggas.
Hey, where's Joe? You can see the trolls coming already. This ain't no Joe Budden podcast.
This is a Joe Budden podcast. He's just not on it anymore, guys. But nah, though. But yeah, what you saying?
Yeah, so he was the only one that can't really be going. So like, but again, who's making decisions? Like, how can you just tell me to just leave? Tell my guy to just leave? Or shouldn't we discuss this? Or you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of questioned the friendship and versus the business, cause like I'm doing the business thing versus these are my friends, these are my guys, kind of thing.
Right. But my thing with that is, like Joe even said it, cause Mal was trying to say that as far as like he wasn't respecting their friendship to just keep going. But Joe said, you see my respect for our friendship, that you guys are still here, because what other job can you just walk out and be gone for weeks on time and you can just come back when you want to?
Yeah. He's hitting them with the business blueprint. Yeah. Like, that's not how businesses are run.
Right. So he's saying because of our friendship, I allowed you to do something that clearly you can tell that he thought was unprofessional and inappropriate. So I don't know. Did you listen to any of what Ack said about it?
A little bit, but just about Ack, I just
he just behaving.
Just outside looking in, like you could have got me. Like, I could have been a good replacement. That ain't what he said, but that's how I felt about that. You know what I'm saying?
He about to start his own podcast.
Don't do that, man.
But see, I like Ack's commentary, because even though he was just clowning, he wasn't just clowning. Even though he was clowning, he was also, giving good. He was also going into detail about what Joe was saying and explaining that stuff.
And yeah, I go at Ack a lot, but in this situation, in this instance, this is one where his take is kind of like because he's doing the same thing.
Right.
He's been a part of the casting with Joe Budden. He knows what it's like to work with Joe. So this time, he's kind of on point with it. Whatever his take is, it's one I hold this time.
Yeah, and he was talking about, he was like, because then Rory tried to bring up, what about when you stopped at Complex? You did that too. Well, you did the same thing that we did. And Joe's point was, Complex. He said I didn't walk out on Complex. They didn't want to re-sign me. I took a step back from them, and pretty much was like, because I knew they couldn't do it without me. And of course, Ack was talking about, he's saying he don't need you niggas. He's saying he Joe Budden, you can't do it without him because he's a star, and y'all niggas ain't. And that's what Ack was saying. But not be as mean as Ack, he got a point. Joe Budden is a star, so if Joe Budden steps back, that's a big personality. But people come to the Joe Budden podcast and they might like Rory and they may like Mal and Parks, but Joe's the guy who is the leader. He's the main focus of the show.
That's why I was coming to Complex. Ack, I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't there for you.
But Ack brought a lot of people to you, maybe.
Yeah. But his takes, okay, and even why I keep him follow the takes, because he's been in the music industry, because he's talking about a lot of the ins and outs. His take on those are like critical. He's been in the thing through experience. So like his outlook, his mind state on that is one that should be up there, because he's been through it. He's not just talking shit from the side,
Yeah, no, definitely. That's a big reason why people listen to him. He has examples to give of his situation. I do think he comes from. I think he is very jaded because of how his music career went. So I think sometimes he can come from stuff really negative and be a lot. He's very untrusting of what people say. I think that just because of his career turning out the way it did. But other than that, he does give some good insight, and he makes you think about things that you would not have thought about before.
Yeah. Talk whack to me.
It's the WACCast Podcast. Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
It's the WACCast Podcast. WACCast, yeah.
Talk whack to me, talk whack to me,
Yeah.
talk whack to me, talk whack to me.